police report, and the cop came by. We assessed the damage, and we've got the new windshield put in the back seat of the car. And all we found out was he just took one of my old school bags, which at the time all I had in it was a thesaurus. But I just put my last prescription fill of antidepressants in it as well. So I lost a thesaurus and my antidepressants, which it's not too bad. But I mean, I will say with the car act, still being broken and all, I am at a loss for words. But I do hope he's happy now.
I see what you did there. Speaking of happy, it's Thursday night, and we're all happy to be here. We hope you're happy to be here too. Got a lot of folks in the chat, a lot of familiar faces hanging out with us already tonight. If you're watching us here live on YouTube, make sure if you haven't already, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, I don't know how you know we went live, but if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also hit that notification bell, as we will have a lot of additional content coming down the pike. I've made the decision that I'm going to start doing unboxings on this channel, and tomorrow I've got Fans Toys spoiler coming, and I don't have any spoiler alerts because
beat me to the punch.
I know. But, there's that whole controversy now about him being paper thin. So I figure we'll get him unboxed, do a comparison to the X-Trans Spots Crack Rock. And I think it'll be a good time. I hope anybody that watched my MP44 boxing of the day enjoyed it. And I want to make those a more regular part of the show. So again, hit that notification bell so you can see when we come out with that sort of content. Matt occasionally does. And all that good stuff down below. So again, if you don't know it already, we're Figure Action. And we're coming to you live. I didn't introduce us. And joining me tonight is the usual cast of characters. Stan's our buddy Parts Former. He's here in spirit. Who knows what he's up to? T said he was dead asleep, and I don't know how he knows that unless he's been creeping. He's probably got an Arlo set up in his house. That or Joe does.
Yep.
It's like
I know Joe does.
I got him everywhere. You don't even want to know.
It's like that Robin Williams movie, like 1 hour photo.
It's on Joe's face. Look.
Anyway, let's find out how the hell everybody's doing. We'll go clockwise. We'll start off with Crablante.
Crablante. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
You need to watch One Punch Man Season 1.
Oh.
Crablante is the best villain. Actually, to me, he's a hero. He's really the unsung hero of all of One Punch Man.
One Punch.
My God.
Even though he was defeated.
I just Googled it. And
Isn't it glorious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also opening up Photoshop right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you listening at home, take a second, pull out your phone, and Google Crablanto.
Somebody made him in Soul Calibur, and it's like spot on.
They need to make a Figma of Crablante, or like a Storm Collectibles would probably do a good Crablante because they're good at like those big, buff, heavy figures.
Like that Bane. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I don't have the funds to pre-order that right now. But speaking of figures, my only haul is this guy.
Nice.
This guy.
You got the 2-pack?
Yeah, and this dude here is
Are you Shakur? You got the 2-pack?
He is he's got a lot of issues.
And
well, yeah. I mean, first of all, his mom's an assassin. His grandfather is an immortal who's been around for hundreds of years, running a crime family. And his dad's freaking Batman. Who else wouldn't have issues?
And
somebody told me they broke his legs.
He's already got poor joints at
I think that was Tim
the
Drake.
ripe old age of 13. He can't stand.
Oh, shit.
I say those are not major action.
I need to get him some crutches. If I get him some crutches, maybe he can stand.
They aren't designed to move.
They're designed to look good.
They are a display piece.
Yeah.
You find honestly, that's exactly what they are. You find a decent pose, park them on a shelf, don't touch them again.
I just don't know if I can complete
But
this
they
whole
look
set.
good.
They do look good. I
They
just don't know
look-
if I can justify spending the money on this whole set.
That's
They
a
are
shame.
definitely.
I will.
They're no NECA turtles.
Oh no, they're not. But
Far from it.
they just look good. I mean, they're like a step above what McFarlane is, because you can actually pose it, but then you never touch it again.
I don't know. This is McFarlane, and I compose it, and the paint is immaculate.
Yeah. These are $50 for the 2-packs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what other price they could have put them at, but
Well, it's $25
$40.
a figure, and you get a ton of accessories.
I think everybody's kind of like riding that NECA wave. Like NECA did that for their 2-packs, and everybody's like, "Yeah, that's what we can charge." That's what the turtles were.
yeah, it's probably true.
Now,
That's what
I said,
Hasbro did too.
I got that one Batman, and then I will admit I just entered a raffle of a group that's raffling off both those 2-packs. But hey, if I get both 2-packs for $20, that'll be worth it.
So there's some
That
graphics.
That will not be named.
You do get a lot of stuff.
Take the pizza out. Pizza.
Pizza. And there's Robbins. He's pretty good with the bow staff, I hear. That's it for me.
All right. Yeah. How the hell are you doing this week? We need to know that.
Doing good, man. I've been recovering a lot of repressed memories, and I had a really strange dream. And I'm gonna tell you real quick what my dream was. You guys ever have a dream where like your teeth is falling out of your mouth?
Yes,
You
No.
had that dream? It's like a recurring thing.
that actually, this is not a joke. This is not a punchline. That actually is a recurring dream I do have.
Yes, a lot of people have it. It's kind of like one of those like Mandela things where some people are affected by the Mandela effect, and some it's like a 50-50 thing. So I had this dream. It was similar in that, but instead of my teeth falling out, my face was falling, like the chunks of my face was falling off, and I was like, I had no face.
Like that scene in Poltergeist.
Yeah.
I just had it was like flesh. It was like the half of Harvey Two-Faces, but like the whole face.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know why. And then I figured out why, because I've been doing all these damn face swaps, and I think subconsciously
Face.
my mind.
No more drugs
like,
for that guy.
He's just like Joe's been taking his face off, so now we're gonna throw this nightmare at him. It was pretty terrifying.
I'll ask you the Joe Rogan podcast question. You ever do DMT?
If I had done that before I went to bed last night, that would have been a better explanation because I couldn't figure it out.
I was gonna say, you say it like you've done it. You're like, if I could have done it last night.
If I could have, I would have. I even had like in this dream, I was so upset that my face was falling off and I had no face that I ordered a mask that was like a Joe mask. And I tried putting this mask on and it didn't fool nobody.
Did I make you this mask?
That is elaborate.
You might have made that, yeah. Hopefully I have the dream again and I'll pay more attention.
The dream I used to
Okay,
have
that's
all
the
the
most
time
real
was
thing I think that's ever been on this show in all 50+ episodes.
That's what?
The Realist.
That's the
Is
most
that what
surreal.
the
Yeah,
most
I mean,
surreal thing in all the history of figure action.
I'm always real. I mean, that is a real thing that happened to me last night. I woke up in a cold sweat and I was like feeling my face to make sure I still had my face.
The thing I used to always recur, I used to dream about all the time is when I try to run, I can't run standing up. It's like, feels like something's holding my chest. So I had to run on all fours and then I'll be faster. I'm like, what the heck?
Dave's like, man, you people are freaking weird.
All right, check the chat, Joe. Check the chat.
Oh, that was
Eh.
quick.
I'm very fast.
That doesn't help people who are just watching on YouTube. You know that, right?
He's the host tonight. I mean, he's not the host of the show, but he's hosting the stream. I figure he's in a better position to share.
I can.
Yes.
I can do
So
this.
let's actually take consideration of our audience, both of them, and
Hey, there's more than 2 people in here. Oh,
okay,
shout
Nightwingham,
out to Nightwingham. He said that
Sportimus.
Matt is currently in a deep depression because he didn't get the Sith Trooper from Hasbro Pulse.
Why is this not working?
Nathan
They're over with
Simmons.
Life of Brock's. Life of Brock, I mean.
Why is this not?
You know what? All this is going to be all this hype for the Sith Trooper, and he's going to appear in one scene and walk away. You're gonna see a Sith Trooper just walking in the background behind a TIE fighter. That's his only scene in the movie.
That's what I said, Tom. I said it's gonna be like the same amount of screen time as the whatever those snow troopers were in Solo,
Or the Executioners.
or the Execution. Good God,
I don't know what's happening here. I can't.
I saw all your pictures.
There it is. There.
That
Share.
is not
Popped up
here.
and then disappeared.
Share my entire screen. It won't let me share.
But sharing is caring.
Come
Joe
on,
just doesn't care
guys.
about us.
Do it the old-fashioned way.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you, Extra Zero.
Technology fail.
Did you put nipples on it?
They were already on there.
I will tell you this: if One Punch Man was done as a domestic line, a true domestic line, that should have been a Build-A-Figure.
Crablante.
Yeah, Crablante would be a Build-A-Figure.
All right, so moving on. I see he's got something in hand. T-Man 978, how the hell are you? And what were the coolest things you got this week?
I'm spectacular. And I've been looking at this Tiny Tina. What's this game called?
Borderlands.
Borderlands 3.
Well, boy, she's from
Comes out
Borderlands
tomorrow.
too.
Comes
Yeah.
out tomorrow, by the way.
I think she's in the new one. I've seen a trailer.
Yeah, I think the new one takes place like 20 years after 2, if I'm not mistaken.
But I was figuring instead of me keep looking at this, I might as well buy it. And the articulation isn't the best because she has because of the sculpting, she has single jointed knees and elbows and whatnot. But the paint is freaking immaculate and it's a joy to move. But outside of that, I got these New Age Insecticons, which are like tiny little masterpieces, and I just put up a review today if you want to see that later after the show.
I like that one pic that you had of them swarming Sunstreaker, because that actually almost justified the picture. I mean, it justifies them of being like, you could have your fan toys, or if you're me, my Bad Cube ones, and those are like the little clones that they shoot out. So that's actually pretty cool.
That is.
Oh yeah, you're like, oh, it justifies the purchase, but he got it for free.
Yeah, it justifies me getting it for free. Oh yeah, and I forgot I got these two guys, Palpatine and Mezco Punisher. I think he's losing his patience up against Palpatine's nonsense.
That's your second Mezco, right?
Yes.
That you've purchased. Not handled, but purchased.
Yes, purchase. So this is mine, and I'm going to have a video eventually. At some point. So as soon as we stop doing this show, and this thing decides to focus on it. Yeah.
So that's your mission for the evening.
Yes.
Fair enough. True Starscreamer, how the hell are you doing?
Oh, sorry, just enjoying a little bit of the bubbly. But
oh wait, I thought that was water.
It is.
Yeah,
it's bubbly.
Like water.
Oh,
sparkling water.
Yes, it's actually the brand is bubbly. Very
Dave,
good.
do you drink the Claw?
No,
No, you seem
I
like
do
you'd be
not.
a White Claw kind of guy.
First of all, I no jokes aside, any like spiked sodas or anything, that is the most vile alcoholic beverages ever created. Not your dad's root beer, any of that crap.
Oh
is
man,
just
I
disgusting.
really like the cherry cola.
Hey, I'm not above drinking a Claw.
Yeah, and nor am I.
Ain't no law when you drink the Claw.
I don't like sparkling
I have
water.
never. If I'm gonna drink, when I drink spiked soda, I drink a vodka soda with lime. That is my spiked club soda. I take the club soda and spike it myself. So.
Oh my God.
And for those of you listening at home, we are now seeing we are now seeing Joydberg.
Joydberg.
So
Yeah,
but
isn't he a lobster?
I don't know. I mean, he's a crab thing, but I mean,
He's a crustacean.
my uncle made it make sense to me once. Like I used to just drink like whatever beer, and I used to drink things to prove a point. And I got to a point in my life, and my uncle, he's a family man. I mean, he's he's a real man's man. I mean, he's just like, you know what, fuck it. If it tastes good, drink it. Who gives a fuck what anybody thinks?
I'm just saying those spiked drinks don't taste good to me. They just.
I mean, if they don't taste good to you, then there you go. I mean,
don't drink that mess.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, if I'm going to spike a club soda, I'll spike the damn thing with Kettle One. But
With Daddy-O.
I don't know.
Somebody washing dishes.
Or is Joe printing that?
Possibly. But it's definitely been an active week at my job because I had worked another 7 days in a row because, we are down a staff member.
Oh yeah, man, that week flew by for me.
Yeah.
Seems like yesterday you were just like, I gotta go. My boss is calling.
Did you stage a coup, Dave, and take permanent control?
My boss is still my boss, but I can say now that the term everything has gone through at work. We have a group chat that was we never see my hands going across the screen here. It's because I'm getting a text or something, a notification top of my phone, and there was a little group chat going on about my main boss flying out for a little bit, and he made a decision of who was going to be in communication with him for the store, and someone in our store took offense that it wasn't them and basically had a little meltdown over chat, and they put it all in the group chat, so we're all seeing this.
And then Dave was like, "Wait till they see what's in store for them tomorrow at the store."
Then they was like, "I really gotta quit."
No, but
damn.
Needless to say that we're down. We were down a person. I'm the one who got selected to basically make up their shifts. But the nice thing is I've been making all their sales.
And you're also hourly, aren't you?
Nope.
No. Oh, your salary.
I am salary plus commission. So if I want to raise, I just have to sell more. But fortunately, when you sell more stuff, you get to buy more stuff. Segue.
Go on.
And I did get some cool stuff this week. Actually, a little impulse buy I had today is I got one of the 30-minute missions guys.
They're awesome.
How long
it is fun. It took me about 45 minutes.
Fail.
So they lied. Not
false advertisement.
Well, at
he
the
got
time
the weapons back.
I did buy the weapons pack, and my daughter already broke the sword, so I threw away part of the weapons pack.
It wasn't fixable?
I'm actually probably going to get a second one of these guys, and I'm going to go ahead and get a second weapons pack. And I do want an armor pack as well. No, it wouldn't work, because the way it works, the sword, there's like a little peg that goes into one of the hilts, so you can take it out and put in other things, and she broke it off at the peg.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not salvageable.
I hate that.
But these are, I agree with T-Man. This is just a nice, you don't have time for models. This is the model for you. It does pop apart a little easy, but with the whole being able to switch the parts around. But when I buy another model, if I want to pop the arms out, it won't be hard for that to move those plates.
Wouldn't treat me was like we said it was like a Bionicle, like a grown up Bionicle.
I would almost say if it's not a beefed up Bionicle, it is a stripped down Gundam, because some of the Gundams you can build this, you build the frame and then you put the armor around the frame. So this is a lot more like that skeleton.
Well, they do sell them now. The skeleton, the skeleton Gundam.
Well, they've always had those. The master grade. They
Right. So this is just like that skeleton there. And with the little hard points around here, I would not be surprised if we get more, if this line takes off, more and more advanced armor packs where you can take one of these guys and hopefully beef it up even further. So this will be a nice little compulsion. Like especially with their price point of, this and the weapons pack was $19 after tax. Very nice.
And Barnes
a lot
Noble.
More fun. Yeah. And my wife is a member, so I got the discount.
You can fudge some siege effects on a gun too.
Probably, but I definitely enjoy that. And then I did get a box from Big Bad Toy Store. And first thing I got was a Storm Collectibles King of Fighters Kyo Kusanagi, who is the protagonist of King of Fighters. And if I took a very good picture of him on Instagram, which is so that's already up. He's got a lot more flame effects.
But Terry Bogard is the fan favorite.
Yes, and Terry Bogard is announced for Storm, and I'm actually very excited on that.
And Smash.
Well, yeah, that's.
Here's the thing. Okay, just a quick tangent with the whole SNK Terry Bogard. At that time, Terry Bogard was in Fatal Fury.
Mm-hmm.
They also had another game called Art of Fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they had all like the little sports games and things like that.
Yeah, what was it? World.
They had a football game, a basketball game, all kinds of shit. And then they also had Psychic Force, all this stuff. When SNK did their first King of Fighters, in some ways, that was like the first Avengers movies of video games, of taking all the protagonists and all the antagonists and putting them into one game.
Well, so Capcom was doing it, and I think
SNK did it first. They had the first full shared universe,
like way early before Marvel.
Because in Fatal Fury, you were fighting a guy named Mr. Karate, who was the father of the guys from Art of Fighting, just as an example.
I could be wrong, but I thought Capcom's ties for again, if anybody in the chat,
Street Fighter Alpha had the people from
Final Fight,
yeah,
and Street Fighter Alpha,
was but Alpha came out
way later.
Alpha came out, well after,
but like Bionic Commando and what was the other one? It was something Soldier. Like
after King of Fighters came out in
Yeah, I know SNK was.
I thought it was before that.
Yeah, I know SNK was mixing their franchises up before, before most people. But I think Capcom had dabbled in it, like here and there.
Actually, you know who did it first? Toho. Toho did the first shared universes before anybody. That is a fact.
Before Marvel?
Yeah, because all those monsters, Rodan, Mothra.
What year did they come out?
They all had their own individual movies before they put them together with Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, as far as movies.
And Dave, if you're not completely frozen, Steve Brent wants to know if you or anyone you know has seen Emma Frost in the Triangle area.
What is a triangle area?
The area where Dave
speechless.
is.
I guess he is frozen. So let me reach over to
What'd
my
you
floor.
get, Zero, and how are you? You're spectacular.
Well, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a good week. The week kind of rolled by pretty fast. Except I did have like one low point for the day because I know she's listening. Lex's dad actually broke my couch tonight.
Couch.
What?
He broke my fucking couch.
How does that happen?
He was sitting on the floor and he put his
Wait a
hand.
minute, did he do that like the Rick James? Fuck you.
No, he didn't do it. Fuck you. No, he was sitting on the floor. I have a perfectly good recliner, and he's like sitting on the fucking floor, and like he goes and he puts his hand like on like a part of the frame of the couch, and uses his whole body weight, and he like there's like a frame to like the on the recliner, so like where you sit, there's a wooden like a wooden part underneath the padding, and he just put all his body weight, push himself up, and you hear this. And I walk over and I'm like, his name's also Joe, and I walk over and Joe, you broke my couch. And he goes, no, I didn't. You look, it just popped right back into place. I'm like, dude, I can feel the wood. It's splintered. And I mean, like, you can still sit on it. Structurally, it's fine. But I have a warranty on the couch. I have a complete warranty. I already called Ashley Home Furniture. They're gonna apparently by Monday, and I had a fuck ton of problems getting my furniture delivered to them. So I don't know how this is gonna go. There's another issue with the couch on the left side, like the back support. There's like a bar and springs. It's almost like a mattress that had like worn out. Like it was like really creaky, and then it just suddenly stopped having back support. And I've been meaning to call them to get somebody out to replace that part.
Who buys a sissy couch that's gonna break?
Okay, Jazz.
Yeah, what you should have done is bought you a quality couch from IKEA.
Jesus Christ, yeah. You buy it, and it comes with free scoliosis points. But no, other than that, I'm having a pretty good week. And I'll get it sorted out. I'll probably have to get Angry on the phone again, and but it's fine. I needed to get that shit fixed.
Dave that question about the Emma Frost.
Oh yeah, so Steve wants to know if anybody in the Triangle area has seen Emma Frost yet.
Nope. I can't even find good internet. Sorry about that.
That's all good. Anyway,
I got more stuff, by the way.
Oh, well, I'm going. I'm in the middle of my spiel.
Yeah, Zero literally took your spot. You got bumped.
I did take a spot.
line.
Well, let me finish. It's not going to take long. I got my replacement MP44. Anybody who saw the unboxing probably knows this one is damn near pristine. It has pretty much no imperfections whatsoever.
Wearing white gloves.
I'm not wearing white gloves.
You're handling it without white gloves?
I'm handling it without white gloves. I mean, there's little sprue marks and everything, but this one's good. I'm happy with it. I could not get, for the life of me, Amazon Japan to take mine back. I had to go to DHL facility a few times, and DHL wouldn't take it back without money or a waybill number. Amazon Japan was like, oh, just pay for shipping. I went back and I was like, okay, well, how much is this going to be to ship? And they're like $180. I'm like, fuck that. So, I mean, my first MP44, it was not up to my standards. However, on a shelf or for anybody that's going to play with it, it would be fine. There was no damage. I mean, the antennas were good. There wasn't any warping there. The knees were good. And on all the copies I've had, so the 2 copies, the knees are perfectly fine and ratcheted. No need to do any fixes. So I'm like, look, this one's got good knees. It just has a couple of paint blemishes. Well, I had more than a couple of paint blemishes.
Don't bend the knees anymore.
But I ended up selling my MP44 for what I paid from Amazon Japan. So I've recouped my money. So I'll send that out to a person tomorrow. They don't have to worry about theirs getting bad knees or having bad knees. So it's a win-win for all parties involved. As far what I got like regularly this week, I got an MP10G. I was very lucky. These went really fast on Hasbro Pulse, and I was really surprised. Just how quick they went. I am kind of peeved with the Hasbro Pulse Premium. They said that they were going to allocate, stuff for the premium members first, and that's a paid membership. I mean, I spent $40, so I got into it this year for free without having to pay an additional membership due. But honestly, I don't think that their service is really worth it, to be honest. When they had the SDCC stuff go live, it was supposed to go live, I want to say on Tuesday for premium members at noon. Well, they put the sales for this up at 11:57, and I know that kind of sounds trivial, but by 11:59 they were sold out. So anybody that was coming on and refreshing the page at 12, they were kind of screwed. So I read all that on TFW, and I ended up going the next day for non-premium members. And at 11:55, I started hitting refresh, and at 11:57, we went live. I added it to my cart. Thankfully, I got one. I know a lot of people weren't fortunate to get one, and I know there were unfortunately some folks that added theirs to their cart. I think Nate Simmons was one of them. Added it to the cart, had it in their cart, went to check out, and it said sold out. So not too happy with Pulse Premium, but I am very happy with this figure. I like it a lot. I love the proton pack they have on him. I like the fact they actually have a hose. They turned his kind of derpy gun into an what were they called? Were they? I know they were wands.
Proton pack.
Yeah.
Proton
pack.
wand.
What the hell is this part called? I was getting ready to ask you that if it actually connected to the backpack.
And I love that.
It does PKE meter.
No, it does come with a PKE meter, but if somebody makes one, I will buy that in a heartbeat. If somebody like on Shapeways makes a PKE meter for this guy, I'm pretty sure that someone probably
changes in a laser beak.
Yeah. That doesn't have to turn into a laser beak, but I love the fact that he comes with the proton pack. The proton pack actually transforms, and it's a different proton pack than what's on Ectotron.
That's a nice thing.
So it's a little bit bigger than what's on Ectotron. It's a similar mold, but it's a little bit bigger.
You know what the best part about this mold is? I transformed it faster before you could finish your story.
Well, yeah, and that's a really good point too. Is I have this guy. I've had two of this guy. He's in my collection. He's there to stay. But it is so much fun transforming MP10. It's super easy. It's intuitive. And I really enjoy it. And I think if anybody out there likes MP10, if you have him already, you're on the fence about MP44, enjoy it. You don't need to be a completionist. If MP44, if the articulation and the looks of it are what you've been craving, go for it. But at the end of the day, if you have MP10 and you enjoy it, you're fine. And keep enjoying that figure. Also, they turn Roller into a ghost trap, and he comes with a really well painted Slimer. I also really dig all the paint apps on the trailer. I have it in the repair bay mode right now, but I love the fact that Ectotron can fit in there. I'm torn.
That's actually a very nice touch.
Yeah, and Ectotron's not an MP, but that vehicle mode's so good and so perfect. This is just all around a really nice set. The box looks like a proton pack. It actually has straps so you can wear it. I wish that they made this more readily available. I wish that they made it more widely available, because I know there's a lot of Ghostbusters fans out there, and there's not a ton of unique Ghostbusters merchandise. And
they could have just kept it as an SDCC exclusive. So they should. Some people don't even get that from companies.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
I'm just saying it could be a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been, but I just think that they should have made it a little bit more readily available. It's unfortunate that a lot of overseas sellers have these in bulk, and they're price gouging. It's like $250, $300 now. Actually, after Hasbro Pulse sold out, they upped it to $300 for a lot of them. I think it's a shame, and I think that people should have been able to get it for about half of what that was shipped. So, anyway, True Starscreamer, back to you. Deluxe Baldwin, you can call it trash all you want, but
it's his trash, damn it.
No,
It's Hasbro, so he loves
No.
it.
Yeah,
He's
that's what I was
just
gonna say.
He's just making fun.
Oh,
But yeah,
shut his mouth.
as I said, I did get a few other things. I did get also the Storm Collectibles Ryu and the Ken, which I already took the time of pulling the plastic trays off. So if I want to mess with these, you don't have to worry about hearing me mess with that during you guys chatting. But I will say one of the coolest things about these is they do have in their backs in the inserts the fighting stage, but it's in 16-bit.
That is pretty neat.
So let me get that out here, so you can that's Ryu's stage, and that's the 16-bit, or it has like the anime little blast for the background. So they did a very nice job. Yeah, they did a very nice job with their packaging. I mean, I should point out, I'm still getting the Figuarts Street Fighter figures as well. I just really like Street Fighter. I've been losing at that since Street Fighter 1.
I have a question for you with the Figuarts ones, because I'm a big fan of them as well, but it doesn't seem like they hold their value at all. No. We've been seeing like I'm almost, and I wanted to ask how you were on this, Dave, because I'm almost hesitant to buy M. Bison / Vega or Balrog / Vega.
Well, I got the Balrog already. I mean, I got the Balrog Vega on pre-order. The Bison's one I'm a little. I mean, it's so bad. Remember, I bought a Sakura, and a second one just appeared. I mean, it's like their values they drop so much.
Like, I spent $65 on Ken, and then T posted a link. He's $30. I've seen Sakura as low as $30. Actually, I think I've seen her for $24.
That's not the first time though. Ken's. That's not the first time though. Sorry.
That figure showing up like that is never gonna happen again. It's been almost a year and we're still hearing about that.
But I mean, actually, the Ken Masters price drops happened before, because I remember sending that to T-Man once earlier this year. I think a lot of people overbought. I mean, suppliers bought because the whole Ken Ryu thing, which it's a shame, because it is probably one of Figuart's strongest products as far as
anything with that fighter body is really good.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the Street Fighter bodies are, and some people might find this a little blasphemous, but as far as ratio goes, the Street Fighter as a whole has actually been a more solid line than their MCU figures.
Their MCU figures have gone downhill.
But the Street Fighters haven't. That's the thing.
They haven't. They've only gotten better and better.
I mean, I love those, but I'm really looking forward to. Well, I'm ready to go ahead, and I can go ahead and start messing with Ryu right now. But these are all pulling off from the Street Fighter 2 designs, as opposed to the Street Fighter 5, which was probably one of the reasons I didn't get into the Storm line to begin with, because I really didn't like Street Fighter 5 in general.
Is he 16-bit?
No, he's definitely not 16-bit, but he is very grumpy looking. But it's based off the proportions of the 16-bit one, so he's much more hunched over, lean. As opposed to he's not that lean. That's the thing. He's much more hunter, as opposed to this the lean look like I was done in alpha. So I will be messing with this as we chat for the day tonight. But I will say the King of Fighters one is freaking, that Kyo is near action figure perfection. So that's what I got. That's it.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's get into some discussion topics for the evening. Let's see. I want to save the one about aesthetic towards the end. T-Man has one. Let's talk about Burning Convoy first, or as I like to call him, Hot Tamale Harambe.
I was gonna go cinnamon Jolly Rancher, but okay.
Cinnamon Jolly Rancher. No, I like to call him Hot Tamale Harambe or Heat Waves Harambe. So the news about MP38 Plus broke a couple of days ago. Actually, probably last week. And today we got some pictures. Man, I am a masterpiece completionist, but I
don't care.
This is like territory where I'm like,
I think it should have been an exclusive. Low production run, Sky Mall, WonderCon.
What were those golden repaints called?
Hey Joe, add my screen share to the
Lucky Draw.
There we go. So yeah,
they gave him lucky draw hands.
Kind of. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
do you know what it looks like?
A waste of time.
It looks like they took this mold.
A trip to Big Lots?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it looks like they took the mold, but then they made it out of that same shitty looking plastic that you get from like the dollar store toys, and they just use the same color everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: that version of him only appeared for like less than 5 minutes in all of Transformers continuity.
Then he went back to his world and forgot all about that.
Exactly. He was pretty much from the Beast Wars 2 movie.
So, like, the sad part is like that figure, he's supposed to look, I don't want to say a lot different, but like that's what he's supposed to look like. And I think some airbrushing and better shading and a better head sculpt would have gone a long way. I mean, this head sculpt just doesn't capture that at all. And I think what they should have done, as you know, I'm not a big advocate for chrome, but they could have done like, you know, chrome on the hands, just something to really and you know, like do it all up the forearm. Whereas here,
squint, you could see the color variations.
I mean, can you? I mean, it looks like that they're using like a more pearlescent paint and then clear parts. It doesn't.
Looks like a McDonald's Happy Meal toy.
And they should have done like an almost black navy blue. I just think it needs a lot more color variation. I think that there's a lot of issues with it, and I hate myself because
you can't justify this purchase.
No, I can, because I'm a masterpiece completionist, but I hate that I have to get this. I hate that, you know, in order to have that complete masterpiece collection, I have to get this because it just does not look finished. It doesn't look right. Now, will I buy it as soon as it comes out? No, because this one I can see like hitting those bargain bin prices. Like I can just see this coming out and everybody going, "Nuh-uh, this doesn't appeal to me," and you know, it going on like
then it might cost more than the regular Beast Convoy.
That's probably, yeah. And the sad thing too is, where are the flame effects? Like, they could have come out with some Siege style flame effects for the forearms.
That might be later.
And I doubt it.
When they realize nobody wants it, so they just throw in some extras.
It's rare. It's really rare, especially outside of G1, where they would reissue a figure with extra pieces.
I can help
Yet,
you justify
ironically,
it.
that's exactly what Plus is.
You could pose him next to your Leo Convoy.
You need the shining Leo Convoy. I mean, I see it. You know, the anime color Optimus Primal. I see, like, a place for that, especially next to Leo Convoy. We'll see when they come out with the shining Leo Convoy how that looks. But even then, I kind of think it's going to look really plain version. I mean, if they have the balls to charge more than the regular Optimus Primal mold, I won't be shocked. But I'm going to be like, really, Takara? I mean, really?
I think this should be. I'm surprised. I thought this would be the one that would finally get you to say no.
We're close. We're really close.
You can skip them. Nobody cares.
I care.
They're not going to come to your house and be like, "Where's Burning Convoy?"
He was in a movie that was a direct-to-video in Japan only. The only people who are going to know that that's missing from your collection
are Tyler and Dakota. Shout out to our Stasis Lock people.
And it's not like they're going to come in and break your sofa because you don't have a figure.
No, that's Joe Mirabli's job as he comes in.
I'm just saying, you get where I'm going at here?
Yeah.
I won't care.
I'd say just pretend this thing doesn't even exist. Save that money because Takara is going to come out with an Astro Magnum colored version of Shockwave, and you're going to buy that instead.
And I am going to buy.
I'm just saying. You get where I'm going with that? I mean,
yeah. Though the Galaxy Man Shockwave, I still need to get the Siege one. That one, I'm kind of playing the waiting game as well.
But you get where I'm going with that. I mean, this figure should not have been a mainline release. This should have been like the Sky Mall exclusive.
Did you notice that it's not its own number, which I think is interesting. It's MP38 plus.
Well, my feelings on the Plus series. The Plus series has gotten me out of buying Takara, and it's getting me to sell off. I'm not going to sell them all off. I'm going to sell off probably about 2/3 of my Masterpiece collection because of that.
Mark 44. You are right. I am OCD. That's why I had two of these. I couldn't have the paint defects.
You could have at least offered it to me, man.
Buy it. Buy it.
It's already sold. The money's already in my PayPal account, transferring to my bank.
I'm mucking with you.
He wasn't going to buy it.
No,
I wasn't going to buy it. I mean, for the price of that figure. Oh yes, yeah. I'm saying for the price of that figure, I could have. I got all my Storm collectibles.
So we'll get on to that topic. Thank you, Joe, for moving things along. So Zeta Unicron is potentially dead, even though Son of the Empire got a transforming prototype. Strangely, Zeta, the Core Star, which is their Unicron, which is an 18-inch tall transform Unicron for I think their MSRP for it is $200. Surprisingly, they've removed every reference of that to Facebook. Apparently, the only place where you can still see anything is the Weibo site. So there's speculation that Hasbro Takara is cracking down on third parties. I mean, with the I've heard some friends on Shattered talking about the timing of this, how it's potentially fucking with the HasLab Unicron.
Potentially.
It's hard to take it serious when you have Emperor Palpatine, but he can't. But T-Man can't do a Palpatine impression. He sounds like Yoda.
It's not potentially.
No.
Potentially Hasbro
They're
is
messing with
fucking
Hasbro's fucking revenue. How else would they
Fuck
get
those
the
guys.
what do they call the was it the Real series? Is that
Real
what
Dolls?
the
What?
Hyper no God Real Dolls
Hyper.
fuck by the Darth Vader flashlight or the Darth Vader Real Doll only on HasLab.
So what do we
But,
think? You think it?
They did a
they
slave
sent a
label.
Look,
cease and desist letter their way.
I don't normally wear the tinfoil hat, but I think they did. I mean, the people at Hasbro obviously really want Unicron to get made. I mean, they let Cookie Monster just like light on fire. Somewhere there's a charred corpse screaming "Cookie, cookie, cookie" in the dumpster.
No. That's gonna make me cry.
I mean, now I'm just like picturing like T-Man with like a box of tissues and listening to that song "Here Without You" and looking at photos of Cookie Monster.
I thought you were about to make a totally different joke.
No, but you're obviously thinking about him jerking it and using a thing of Kleenex to wipe up ball snot. So go on.
Now that I hijacked the conversation, the big thing with the Zeta is, first of all, their figure looked better because it was
The robot
cleaner.
looked better.
Yeah, it was. It is definitely a cleaner design, and yes, I think that was definitely hitting Hasbro Takara in the one place they don't want to be hit, which is directly into their wallets.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you got like for example, Light of Freedom, and what was the other one called? Joe?
Op
Leader.
Yeah.
Both of those are really great Transformers, by the way. I wish I had one.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. They knew with MP44, people were waiting on those. So those came out about 6 months before MP44. This was coming out almost concurrent, so it was literally taking money right out of their hands, or right out of their wallets. I think that's one of the reasons why they cracked down. Yeah. I bet if Zeta had waited until this had gotten funded and then released this,
it would have been better.
They probably would have.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I do think they're a little. The same scenario can be said for both. Where a lot of people probably said, fuck MP44. I'm just gonna get one of these two.
Yeah, and to think Hasbro's not listening.
Yeah. Well,
it
didn't seem. It didn't. Well, at least we didn't see anything. It really didn't matter. But now it is kind of odd that the timing of this thing, where they're trying to complete the funding for this Unicron, and then a lot of people are saying, "Well, screw that. I'll just pick up the Zeta." And now all of a sudden, everything just kind of gets deleted off their Facebook account. So that is
Zeta wasn't just like hinting at their product; they were straight flexing and being flossy about it.
It's funny though. Like Zeta. Sorry. I was gonna say, like, Fans Toys named Zeta directly as their main competitor. So what does that say too?
When it comes to sculpts, absolutely.
No. Fans Toys and Zeta sculpts, and I'm pretty critical of Fans Toys.
That Unicron is the best Zeta thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean that really is the best offering in terms of sculpt work that Zeta had done. But like their combiners, they are spot on, perfect looking to like how the toy artwork looked. The individual robots. The individual robots, I mean, they resembled. There was like a slight resemblance, and then the vehicles were like updates. Like Superion was like the best that they did in terms of like being in the ballpark of G1.
The best thing about them is their vehicle modes were solid. Like they didn't. The panels completely made them into the vehicle they were supposed to be.
Very nice, Sportimus. Very
in
nice.
the chat, I said they gave Zeta MP44 knees. Yeah, I mean they're solid vehicle modes and they're solid combined. Like my Superion, I mean you really can't really tell that it comes apart. Like you have to really pry on it to get it apart, and it's a really well built figure. And I kind of think too, like Zeta's made some enemies. I mean, they had Fans Toys looking at them in terms of a true competitor, and Toy World obviously wasn't very happy with Zeta at all. Because they split from Toy World. Now, Toy World's actually found success in doing the movie line, really starting on doing movie figures. I know their Bulldog was pretty well received. I can't really say they found success because they've only had one release, but.
Did Toy World just get slapped? Didn't they just change their name, or was that Unique Toys? Who did the name change?
No, that's a good question.
That was Toy World. Yeah, Toy World Toy World doesn't exist anymore. They have some new name now because they did that figure that actually said Optimus Prime on it on one of their sites.
Only on Taobao.
But that was enough to get them to say,
"Oh yeah," where they screwed up. Yeah.
What about the figure that was named Jazz? Just straight up Jazz.
Well, that was
that Autobot Jazz.
No, it wasn't named Jazz, but it was the Make Toys. The G2 Jazz actually says Jazz on it, but it's got musical notes around it. I mean, it's the same. It's basically the same tempo that's on the actual G2 Jazz figure, and they also only made 120 of those. So it's not like, it's not like they're
J4ZZ.
Yeah.
We're gonna slap a cease and desist on you.
Oh,
okay.
That was Generation Toy that did J4ZZ.
Not just saying it out loud that I think Jay-Z.
So let's see. Deluxe says third party will keep poking the bear. Daddy's gonna come home and shut the shit down. I've been thinking about it lately, and poking the bear is kind of the right term here. The Pulse Unicron, it shows how dedicated they are. For them to extend the deadline on that, they're going to make it one way or another. And
it's like when a pet parent counts down.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 3.5. Yeah. 3 3/4.
I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but would you want to live in a world where third party goes away and Takara actually ups their release schedule and they lower their prices?
I would love that world.
We lived in that world.
We never did live in that world. I mean, we lived in a world where third party wasn't really a factor, but we didn't have like what they were releasing with Masterpiece. We did have better Chug figures.
Well, at the time, that's when we got alternators. That was when we had Armada and Energon, where we had figures that had more paint, thicker plastic. Just saying, we actually technically did, just engineering wasn't at that time.
I miss living in the world where, sorry, Joe, where third party filled in the gaps and they weren't really competing with one another and remaking figures. They were making the figures that we just didn't have in our collections.
I've wondered why they don't do like a soft licensing agreement like they do like look at your Apple connector, the Lightning connector.
Yeah,
you can buy those like Amazon Basics, whatever brand you buy. If it has that Lightning connector on it, they pay Apple like a couple bucks for every one they sell. It's not like a huge expense, but if it added $10 to a $100 figure, is that really the end of the world?
So
would it be beneficial for them to do something like that and say, hey, contact these guys and say, okay, we know what you're doing. We can come after you hard. but on their case, it is more of a like it's not a straight up KO, so it's harder to get them in a court. But they can still go after them and make their lives miserable. Or you say,
Well,
hey,
Hasbro doesn't allow other companies to make transforming versions of their robots. Only time I see where they did allow it is if it ever comes out, the MAS Soundwave has the transforming laser beak.
Well, I mean,
True.
they let the that company that made the power bank and the tablet, they licensed those as Soundwave.
Oh, and that there was a USB a couple years ago that turned into
there were
Ravage.
several. Yeah, it was Ravage. They did one as Tigertron. They did a Dinobot one.
What I miss is actually when third party augmented first party. I mean, Fans Project made Chug Ultra Magnus the hottest commodity for a while.
Yeah.
When you know, I love the old Dr. Wu stuff, like the sabers that look like the ones from Prime, and their weapons kits. You know, the Rainmaker that looked great with Chug Springer. And there was a time when, you know, you bought your Hasbro figure and then you bought the third party stuff to augment it, and then third party started making stuff that would make a first party stuff that much more awesome, so it drove that demand up for the first party even more. And then third party decided to say, well, we're going to take it all and try to make their own.
To go back to what Joe said, though, Joe, I just want to kind of get what you're going for. You're saying that
the Sportimus says they will not license a transformer. I'm not saying an official license. All I'm saying is it's just all behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You go to them and say, we know what you're doing. We can come after you hard. We can make your lives, we can pretty much shut you down or make it so expensive that you're going to shut yourself down. Or you give us a little cut. We leave you alone. They're not going to let them they're not going to let them use the names. They're not going to let them use the logo or anything like that. But, and I'm not saying do this for everybody, but if they did this with like Fans Toys,
they probably are.
And they say, as a part of this agreement, you can't do a direct copy with what we're doing. You're going to do this movie, this line of characters from the movie series. This company is going to do this line of characters from IDW and so forth, and keep them all in their lanes.
Well, what gets me is they say that so much money goes into the design, and yet these companies, you know, you have very rinky-dink operations, and I don't know whether it's a passion project for some of these designers. They just want to see the figure get made, or they're trying to build a portfolio. I don't know what it is. Actually, I should hit up Jason about that, ask him how it works, because I know he's designed some figures.
I think it's just because they're so small.
But
you know, these guys are some of these companies are 2 or 3 dudes in an office, and then they outsource all the production.
Yeah.
Whereas official, you know, Takara and Hasbro, I mean, how many employees and how much operating expense do they have?
Yeah, and
well,
you know,
I was gonna say with the model you're talking about, Joe.
Dave,
hello.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say with the model you're talking about, Joe, that would be perfect for, say, Iron Factory or really.
Okay, yeah, something.
But
so
for
a different scale
for Iron Factory or New Age? Who is it? New Age?
Yeah, New Age.
That would be perfect for that.
New Age isn't verified, so they might get shut down.
But I'm just saying, like, that would be perfect for these little Legends figures, the stylized Legends, or the more masterpiece scaled Legends. For that soft kickback would be ideal for their business model.
Yeah, I think that they should look into going and getting some outside designers. You know, I don't buy the argument that the engineering and the designs cost as much as they do, when, you know, again, I've brought up the Unique Toys Challenger and it's really, really amazing third-party pieces that cost a fraction of what the Dakar stuff does. And I don't know, again, don't want to beat the dead horse because it feels like it's a reoccurring thing where every week we talk about like Dakar's prices are too damn high, but they are. And I think that they're going to force a lot of people out of the hobby. And I think in the long run, it's going to be bad for maintaining the brand. I don't think, I don't think what they're looking to charge is a sustainable pricing model. People bought it because it's Optimus Prime, but they're gonna in the same way that Zeta poked the bear with Unicron, I think that they're poking the bear with their customer base.
Definitely.
Yeah. How much do you think Hasbro would charge for these if they released it?
$12.
For
just a single guy?
$12.
I mean, they're charging $20 for G1 cassette reissues where there's no engineering. They're basically reusing molds. Remember when they used to reuse molds and it was cheaper than the original release?
Yes.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Last time I remember a good price like that is the Evolution of Optimus Prime 2-pack.
And was it $40 for 2 Voyagers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they were going to charge me $20 for this jackass, yeah, what you're holding right there, $12, or at least $10.
So, T, you posed a discussion topic. You want to talk about toy versus toon aesthetic. Can you elaborate on that for us?
A lot of people are complaining that the Masterpiece is going too cartoony and whatnot. But I was thinking, what if they decided to reboot the Masterpiece line
again
into completely into toy accurate? Like they literally look like the G1 toys, but with more articulation.
Well, they kind of have
people like that.
Done that a little bit with the Plus line.
No, I mean like they actually look like the G1 toys. Like Ironhide has a windshield for a face.
No.
And Megatron has the trigger crotch. And Starscream's boots come all the way up to his thighs.
But make them better.
Yeah, and they have I had those pictures, Joe. I don't know if you could pull it up.
Let me see if I can pull it.
I don't see something like that flying, to be honest.
Look, it's toy accurate, like you want.
I think people like toy colors because when you have a mold that's based off of how it looked in the cartoon, and you have the colors of the toy that people had when they were a kid, I think it's that middle ground, right? So when they started Masterpiece, they did like this kind of, middle ground with realistic vehicles and an approximation of how they looked in the cartoon. And when I say an approximation, it's like you look at it and like Optimus Prime, Sideswipe, Wheeljack. And now you look at those and you have them like side by side. And you're like, well, this is different. This is different. That's different. This is different. Whereas if you take MP44 or Grapple or Inferno or any of the newer releases, Megatron, other than panels, I mean, you're really looking at apples to apples.
I think the first Seeker mold for MP was supposed to be part of Vinyltech, but then they decided to make it into a Masterpiece because they made him look so realistic as a jet.
Yeah, but like the first one, like it's funny, like what was the first iteration of it ended up becoming MP11 if you follow the history of it. And then they decided that they wanted to give him like the side skirts and they wanted to deviate the design a bit. I don't know. I can't see that working because like when you see that, nobody you remember that being his box art, but nobody remembers that being Ironhide. And I feel like, again, like,
If you're old.
you know, well, no, I don't think anybody looks at that and says that that's Ironhide. Whereas, like, if it was, you know, when you do toy colors, like I said, it's that middle ground.
There's somebody out there that will love
You know where there's a place for that figure?
The trash.
it.
There's a Jesus Christ.
Well,
In the
show that
Diaclone,
Starscream
for that
picture.
A Diaclone, yes.
for the Diaclone reissue, that Ironhide, for example, would have a place in that, because that was actually a Diaclone figure.
People would jump
So
on it.
that is where you could fit that figure into a Takara line. So people like you can get your little nostalgia buzz, and people in general could get that nostalgia buzz from the Diaclone stuff.
I honestly, personally, I've always wanted Masterpiece to look super cartoony, because I saw the cartoon first for the toys, and I was always disappointed that they looked nothing like the cartoon. I mean, I was
think
okay
we
with
all
them
felt
as
that.
toys. No, some people act like they don't like that. They like the toys first, and they didn't like the
What?
cartoon.
I think that's what Hasbro seems to think, you know. And then, like, when they did Titans Return, they did a lot of toy decos, and they had like kind of cartoon accurate molding. Like, you look at a figure like Cup, and he looks like the sculpt and all Cup and Blur. They look like they did in season 3 in the movie, but then they've got these weird garish toy colors, and they look like they should be exclusives rather than mainline figures. It's like, why go out of your way to sculpt and design them like they looked in a show, but then you give them colors that are kind of, you know.
I think that was because back then they weren't unified with Takara Tomy, and Takara Tomy was using all the cartoon color schemes.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? You know who got the best cartoon to toy?
We'll never know.
I bet he says Soundwave.
But
He looks like a trading card right now. Should make that the Dave trading card. Figure action trading cards. Dave in horizontal format. Looking shy. I'm gonna make a screen capture of that.
So I'm happy. That's one of the reasons why I like this guy. For the people who hate him.
Now, Sportimus talked about MP44. I'm sorry, MP36, and I'm in agreement that I like the MP36 Plus. I had the Megatron toy. I didn't get the Megatron toy until kind of late.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's pretty cool to have like that kind of middle ground, right, where the body looks like Megatron from the show, but you have like the chrome and like the curly cues, and you have like the toy face.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like both of them, to be honest.
But I think
the toy accurate color scheme is a nice option if you got enough money to buy both of them. But I definitely wanted the cartoon version.
I think it's kind of like worth saying too that if you look at like the sales, right, like that MP36 Plus didn't really sell all that well, and it's been on like
it cost more.
It cost way more than it should, especially when it didn't come with extra accessories. The fact that it didn't come with the gun or the sword is kind of inexcusable.
Or the trigger crotch.
Or the trigger crotch. Yeah, if they could have come out with something like that. You know, the fact that like third parties had to like step it up to get that stuff out.
Wait, so it didn't come with the gun attachments?
No, it didn't. Well, no, it didn't come with it didn't come with like the chrome gun that
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that the original toy came with. And to
That
me,
looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, to me that's just kind of like you should have that. So, you know, the third parties have to come out with that, and then of course it came with even less accessories. It didn't come with a mace. It didn't come with you know, the gun that he uses to kill Prime. He doesn't come with an alternate chest. He doesn't come with, you know, he comes with alternate faces, but all the alternate faces are, you know, like they're the Toon version of Megatron with yellow eyes. It's like, why?
Did it come with the sword?
No, it didn't come with the sword. That's why third parties are making the sword. So it's like, you know, they're kind of missing the mark in a lot of ways.
So you could tell by that is one of the examples that the price took me off. So I'm like, I haven't even been paying attention to it at all. I looked at it and think, oh, that looks nice. But since that, I was like thinking, I'm never going to buy that. I just haven't even been looking into it at all to know what accessories it came with.
If you look in the chat, I made Dave's trading card.
Exactly.
I called it. His router crashed. He's rebooting his router.
You know what? While we're waiting on him, I'm actually going to print that out. Actually, I did get one more thing. I got a printer. I needed a printer. And
I wasn't sure if that was there. I thought it was covered with toys, and it was there the whole time.
No, my desk is actually clean now. You want to see?
Yeah. No, when you were showing the picture of the printer, I thought toys were right there the whole time.
Oh, I mean, I do have like some toys here, but yeah, my desk is actually relatively clean now, and I have a printer. So, you know, it's like here, it's like whatever I'm messing with. It's not a pile. The turtles finally found a home. They're finally in a detolf. And shout out to Pointy Pinks, Jonathan Wayne Davis. He actually linked me to some acrylic risers, and I got those installed in my detolf. And yeah.
You didn't get the Great Value brand Spice Rack?
No, I didn't get the Great Value brand Spice Rack. I got they're called Moose Hero, and they're actually some really nice quality acrylic risers. Next time you're over, I'll show you. But I highly recommend them.
I ordered actually they're downstairs. I forgot to open them up, but like the little bendy alligator clip helping hand things for like soldering electronics. They make those with like a little magnetic base. So I ordered a couple, and I was thinking about trying to see if they would actually attach to the metal in the detolf.
Mm-hmm.
And if they'll grip onto that, then I can kind of have, instead of having like a stand come up from the bottom that's real flimsy and they wobble around, have that come off to hold up like stuff like the fig yards, something light. I think Dave's got a dead router.
Okay, that shield on the wall. Can you actually go out in the real world and deflect attacks with it? 0.
Can I do what?
Deflect attacks with your shield over there.
No.
What is it made out of?
Plastic.
No.
It's decent looking though, isn't it? That's the
Marvel. I wonder if it was fully die cast. I wonder how much that would cost.
They made one out of aluminum.
Oh yeah.
Or aluminium.
Yeah.
Aluminium. I hate when I hear people say that. Aluminum. Aluminum. I can't even say it.
My dad can't say aluminum. He legit cannot say aluminum.
I know like people from Europe or something call it aluminum or something like that.
Aluminium.
I need to get some card stack, but I'm gonna
have to break it down. Aluminium.
Aluminium. Aluminium. Like advertisement.
Since we're winding down, how about now maybe a good time for a little Joe and Tell?
Yeah, let's go through that. So you've been pretty busy lately.
I've been pretty busy. But I've kept a few.
Can I share something real quick?
In reserve. Oh, look, there you go. The first official
the True Stars Kramer trading card.
You need to print out like a few hundred of these and just hand them out
at TFCon.
Yeah, you have the most Starscreamer memorabilia.
I do. I gotta come up with a back for it because right now it's just
paper.
But
so
yeah,
anyway,
get these meet Figure Action at the bar at TFCon, and I'll say the first 25 people to do a meet and greet, you will get a True Star Screamer trading card.
How about we do this? We hand a bunch out and we tell everybody, if you give this to Dave, when you see Dave, he'll buy you a drink.
Oh yeah.
And just hand out a few thousand of them.
So I'll put good for one free drink on the back.
Where's my drink, jerk?
So anyway, let me get this set up here. This is a terrible story.
Sometimes the stories that are the most terrible are the best.
So as you know, in today's hashtag Me Too climate,
Mm-hmm.
this is a tragic tale of early in my career where I was ousted from a film that I did called The Wizard of Oz. And I actually filmed pretty much all of my scenes for this movie. As you can see, I worked extremely hard and I fit the role perfectly. But it came out that I had done something inappropriate, which I did not think was inappropriate at all. I was kicked out of the movie and I was not credited for my hard work. If anyone can tell me what I did inappropriate, please let me know.
You melted the witch. That's a dumb weakness she had.
I mean, I bet that bitch stunk.
This is okay though because it's salty, so she didn't melt.
No, if somebody like spit on her, would she die? What a world! What a world!
What are you ratcheting there, Zero?
I'm not ratcheting anything. I'm laminating.
He's already laminating. He's going into full production.
I'm not going to full production. I'm going to
go to
Walgreens.
like Kinko's or something, or Walgreens.
I'm going to go to Walgreens. I'm going to get them made.
Where do you get the risers? Portermiss is asking.
So, Sportus, if you go on Amazon, look up Hero Moose. I can also DM you the link over Twitter if you want. But they're for $30, you get a 2-pack. And I highly recommend it. In fact, I'll send you a picture of my turtles. Actually, I have a picture on my phone. We'll do the Extra Zero Extra Ghetto screen share.
TF fan page said the last picture of True Star Screamer before his pass.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
No.
Hurricane Dorian came back just for Dave.
Yeah, how does he make it through a hurricane and then all of a sudden his internet craps out?
Uh-oh. Joe's 100 years old.
Older.
Says Nate Simmons. Yeah, I think he went back to Egypt times.
He's like Joe's like the Winter Soldier. He goes into stasis. He comes out when we need him.
That's right.
Well, Nate had to spell it out. What was happening in that picture?
All right. So here we go. Now it's you know what? Matter of fact, I'll put this in the deck at TFCon. Someone can get the original. And
oh, is it autographed?
I'm gonna put free drink. I'm gonna put
Hey, did anybody in the audience get MP44?
all right.
Oh, okay.
Free drink, see Henry Pake.
He's like, what?
But I'm gonna also make the T-Man. I'm gonna make the T-Man trading card. It's gonna be free lawn care service.
Mm-hmm.
So Nate Simmons
Nate
has
Simmons
MP44.
You like him? Sportimus is T-Poa. You just got to save up. Actually, Sportimus, do you actually want it?
So we both, I think, T, you and I both did the same thing where we put away. Did you $8 a week?
I did not. I started saving later, so I started doing like $25 to $30 a pay.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, again, I know we're wrapping up the evening. We're kind of hopeful that Dave would come back, but I don't think that's going to happen. But let's wrap up tonight's discussion. We'll talk about like saving for purchases. It's one of Deluxe Baldwin got his. Actually, Matt and I, we were some of the first people to actually get ours. I don't know. I found it incredibly easy to put away $8 a week, and I didn't even miss that money. I knew where it was going. I had a bit more accountability, and I kind of asked myself, why don't I do this more? Why don't I just put away a few bucks a week and then allocate, money for collecting rather than just going purchase, and
people were even jumping on me for talking about that. They're like, it's still you spending the money, even if you're putting it to the side. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, but I still feel that like if you're putting it to the side, you're managing your money a little bit better rather than just you're gonna find ways to put that money aside, right?
It's sort of like layaway.
Yeah.
And if it's a little bit at a time, you won't even notice it. You're still paying all your other stuff.
It's a matter of how much you want it, though. It's not really whether you can. I think most of us can find a way to afford something if we really want it bad enough.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. Because I don't have any Hot Toys. I want them, but I have MP44.
Yeah, and you have to stay in your lane to a degree too. It's like that's one of the things that I've evaluated. Is I'm like, I'm not doing the Cyberverse line. I'm not doing Legends. I'm not doing, I'm not doing add-on
Marvel
kits.
Legends.
Yeah, I'm not doing Marvel Legends, save for like Wolverine or a Spider-Man here and there. I'm just doing Masterpiece, Siege, the occasional video game character, and the Figuart Street Fighter, and that's it.
Did you buy the PS4 Marvel Legends Spider-Man?
Yeah, remember around Christmas time I found him, and then
he's like a lot of money.
Yeah, Lance Park gave me one, and then I gave one to Matt of all people. So Matt got a freebie. What's he worth now?
I was saying it was like $90 or something. It might have been over 100.
Meanwhile, like the Mezco is coming out, the Hot Toys version is coming out or is out, and that's like $200. It's like, why would you spend that much on what's an okay? Crazy. And it's just an okay Marvel Legends. Nate, I never thought about doing that, paying down the balance, because you do that through.
You can do that. You can, if you order something, if you pre-order and you haven't been charged on Amazon United States or whatever, you can buy like a gift card for 10, 15, whatever amount you want, and you can apply it to that order. And you can do it once a week. You can do it once a month. However you want to do it.
I might just start doing that.
So you explain the process of that. That's wherever you love.
Let me see if I can find one.
Like you go to Amazon gift card, put whatever you want on it. Then you go to your item and say, I don't even know how to do it.
All right, here we go. Share screen. Amazon. All right, can you see this?
You learn stuff. Yeah, you learn stuff on Fig Action.
These monster arts that are sure to fall apart as soon as I open them up.
Wait! Stop sharing the screen.
Why?
because your information is right there.
Well, it's got my work address. I don't care. So anyway, right here where it says apply gift card balance, you can hit apply, and then you can do it however much you want.
Nate says, I've explained in our chat before, I'll do a how-to guide for y'all. You know, Nate, that would be a good thing for your channel, is to do a Amazon Japan tips and tricks video, and then you've got it.
And don't be lazy. Put all that stuff on the screen.
Yeah, do how
We
to
know you know how to do it.
Do how to create an account, how to get the site in English, how to the pre-ordering process, and how to pay stuff off over time. I think that'd be a really good video for the community, and probably something to generate a lot of views on your channel.
I watch and share.
That's what
Especially if you put it up on the screen. I put it on my WordPress and everything.
So Sportimus, the item's already in stock. I think you can't do that. I think it's one of those deals where it's if you pre-order it, you can just start applying a gift card balance to it. Kind of like when you go to pay for an item, you assign a credit card to it, whereas here you direct it to use your balance, your existing gift card balance. Joe, correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct. Yeah, it'll have a credit card attached to it, but then you can then apply a gift card to it. Now, Amazon, if you have a gift card balance, it'll pretty much always use that unless you specify when you're checking out. You can actually uncheck that and use a credit card.
Yeah.
But for something that's not in stock, it doesn't actually charge the credit card. So it's an open order. Even if it says grand total like that $105, you haven't actually been charged yet. So if you go in before that item gets in stock and you hit apply gift card balance, or you can just, even if you want to say, like, let's say someone gave you, like for Christmas, a $50 gift card, you can go in there and hit apply it.
So
do that order, and then when the item comes out, you'll only pay the balance.
So it's worth noting that the Amazon US gift cards are applicable to Amazon Japan.
No.
Okay.
They are separate. Amazon US is only for that website, and then if you want to do Amazon Japan, you have to use an Amazon Japan gift card. But it works the same way. You don't have to have a physical gift card. You can just put a balance on your account.
Mark44 Prime says that you can actually pre-order and pay off your GameStop purchases, and he's almost got his vehicle Voltron paid off.
I didn't know that was a pre-order in there.
Yeah. Just hopefully GameStop's still in business by the time that thing comes out.
Especially your store. I think they'll still have record of it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll transfer it to another open store.
I don't foresee, I think if it's anything, it's going to be like maybe next year. I think, I don't know.
No, they said by the end of this year.
By the end of this year, do you think? I know that they said they're going to close down stores that aren't profitable.
Yeah, by the end of this year, they're closing 198 to 200 stores.
I think I'm a big advocate of physical game media. I prefer to buy my games physical rather than digital.
I like being able to go to the store, period.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, we're going to just be in the house.
Yeah, you're right.
Besides groceries.
Yeah, and even then, like, I
they
prefer
might not
going
allow us to go in there.
Well, I prefer going to the grocery store, but let's order your groceries. My friend, my buddy Thor, you might have seen him in the meetup videos. He and his wife, they use Peapod, so their groceries are delivered. They don't actually even go to the store. They just go online for Giant's website and click off what they want. Lex, she shops Harris Teeter, and she does like curbside pickup, where basically she rolls up to the store, parks in a designated spot. They fill her car with groceries, and she doesn't even have to go in the store. Meanwhile, I get a cart, and I like to go pick my own produce. I like to pick my own meat.
Yeah, because if you pick bananas, they'll give you the greenest freaking bananas.
And well, Harry,
I have to order for my job.
She talks about how Harris Teeter, their job is like they have to pick you. Like the people that are hired to do that pride themselves in what they do. Her mom works for Harris Teeter, So, she's, company woman. So, she's very big on it. And to be fair,
she's trying to kill grocery stores.
Yeah, she's trying to kill grocery stores. But to be fair, the groceries that we have got from Harris Teeter have been very good. But my ass, I'm like you. I like going in the store and shopping. I like having physical media because, like, let me spin a story. Gears 5 came out digitally on Thursday last week. So right after I got off this podcast, I'm like, I'm gonna go play Gears 5. And if anybody recalls, I said, hey, I've got Game Pass. Y'all can play me on Xbox Live. I'm going to be on this weekend. I was on Friday night. Xbox Live was unavailable. I couldn't even play the goddamn campaign because I couldn't sign into Xbox Live. Some hacker group took it down. And I don't want that all digital future. I like having a physical game. I can pop in my Xbox, pop in my Switch, pop in my PS4. I don't need to be online to play it. And, maybe that's a dinosaur way of thinking, but I really like having physical media. You can say that, well, movies, they're digital. Well, I like buying 4K Blu-rays. What you stream over the internet actually isn't entirely 4K. I have great internet. I've got 120 up, 120 down. We pay out the nose for good internet. I need it for my work. And we just like having it. Lex is a gamer. I'm a gamer. And we like having good internet. And I don't like the fact that I can't get true 4K content without, streaming. I have to have a disc. So I buy a disc to ensure that I get that. I don't have buffering. I don't have artifacts. I get, reference level. I'm a video file. I have a really nice TV. I have a OLED from LG. It's like the top of the line panel. It's not the largest 55-inch, but I mean, I like making the most of my TV. The fuck is that?
That is Dave's router.
I like the idea of physical media, but I don't like getting out of bed to change the disc.
I mean,
especially on the Switch, if I'm like on a like bus or out in public or in the subway, then I gotta go through my case and find the disc and fumble around instead of just clicking on it like you do with your phone. So then I end up just playing some random dumb mind-numbing game on my phone.
I like having that disc or that cartridge. There's something kind of like eventful about like putting that into a system and playing that. Like it's like putting a key into a lock. It's like it's like you're putting that in, and there's a sense of ownership, and there's a sense of like I like walking up to my my shelf and picking a game out of my library of games, and I think we can call it a library of games, and being like, yep, this is the game I want to play. Taking out, opening the case. Maybe it's an OCD thing. Maybe I'm like borderline autistic or something on the spectrum, but man, there's just something so satisfying taking something, opening up the case, taking the disc, putting it in. It takes you back. It makes playing a game kind of like an event.
To be honest with you, if Nintendo games dropped in value, like after you bought them, like a couple of months later, they go from $60 to $20 like PlayStation games.
Yeah.
I would have been stopped buying physical games. The only reason why I kept even buying physical games is because Nintendo's never dropped in value, and they have a good trade-in value, and I could trade them in later.
Well, that's like part of it too. Is like you can't trade in a digital game, and then on top of that, like when you have a physical game, especially on Nintendo, if you have something on the Switch, there's nothing to download, there's nothing to install. It's you just pop that cartridge in and you're playing. And I think that's like, in today's day and age, that's just like such a wonderful thing, man. Like we went to the ocean a couple weeks ago and I bought Astral Chain on the way, and Lex's Aunt Carm's place doesn't have internet, but I was just popped the game in, got to play it. Nothing to download, just playing the game.
I'm going to go the opposite direction as you. Way opposite. I don't even want the digital content. All I want is for them to like download the experience into my head, and I can just be like, "Oh yeah, that was great. That was fun."
And
And that's what you have YouTube for.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It sounds like you ought to just like start watching Let's Plays.
No,
I had a friend.
You still have to take time to watch it. I don't
Put
even
it on 2x speed.
just do it like the Matrix style. Just download it. I'll jack it right into the back of my head.
We've had like a huge deviation from action figures tonight, and I blame Matt for not being here. But like, it's interesting, right? Did you ever think, like when we were growing up, did you ever think that you'd have like everything, all the information you ever needed to know? Goddamn, we're starting to sound like the Rogan podcast. Like you have like this supercomputer in the palm of your hand, and like, let's face it, this is a supercomputer.
Only on Star Trek Next Generation, and I thought we would never have that. When I was little, I thought I would never have a PC, period, because they're like $5,000. I'm like, holy crap, I'm never going to have a computer. And
so our computer was a word processor that I was able to play Oregon Trail on. And I never thought that we would have something like this that is a million times more powerful. And I love the way Elon Musk puts it. We are already cyborgs.
Yeah.
We already are connected to this device. It's just that our interface, with the monkey thumbs and the eyeballs is just super slow. And that all we're going to be doing in the future is, because this is going to max out. Like it's going to get to the point where this is going to not be that much more powerful. But when they integrate this into your head, and it's you don't even have the physical device anymore. It's just like a chip or something, or it's just
right,
like
you download a memory.
Yeah,
and it's kind of crazy to think that is a possibility. And like you just suddenly everything there is to know about a specific topic, and there's no longer a need. Like you think about that. That's kind of crazy that you get to a point where you don't even need a classroom anymore, because it's like you have all the reference material, and then your skills are no longer part of something that's learned. It's just your judgment. Your judgment is all that matters. Isn't that like a
content in your brain and share it with people?
Well,
you don't even need a movie studio.
Well, they say like that's as we progress further technologically, like the two things that are going to be, well, there's three things. It's your ability to manage analytics, judgment, and creativity. Those are the three things that are going to be like the drivers for the workspace.
Yeah.
God damn, we're an action figure podcast. How the fuck did we
anymore? All right, when are we gonna start talking about Bigfoot?
Just because we're dorks.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's it's even like
I'm about to have to go though.
Yeah, I know you got a review to do. But it's like Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like it's like instead of saying computer, I can say Echo. Add cling wrap to my shopping list.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if they made Star Trek now. Well, they
have Star Trek now.
Stuff is gonna be way more advanced on the Picard show. Is that out yet?
No, it's not out yet. I don't know. I don't know if things are gonna be more advanced.
Well, everything goes in cycles too. People probably get tired of all that, and then they want physical stuff again.
Maybe we'll get to like Idiocracy, where people just start getting real dumb. They'll be like, we tapped out.
I'm just over here baiting.
Baiting. What was it? Yeah, I like money.
Bigfoot is real.
All right.
I seen him and he looked like Joe.
Let's wrap it up so T can get to his review. Let me borrow something real quick. I'm grabbing it. You don't need to see me get up.
He's naked.
No, I'm not naked. Look here. I'll start the camera. Look, see, I am wearing pants.
Mm-hmm.
True Star Screamer, where can we find you? Well, when my internet's not crapping out, you can find me at True Star Screamer on Instagram and on Twitter. And check out my photography. It's really good. Look, there's Bigfoot. There he is. He's real. That looks like me getting out of the shower. Really? Really? Anyway, when I'm not shaving my ass, check out my Instagram. Got really cool figure photography. I'm photographing some Storm collectibles. They can suck my dick, but check them out. Even if you're not into SNK fighters. Thank you, True Star Screamer. And make sure if you're at TFCon to meet the Figure Action crew, where you can get your official True Star Screamer trading card. And one of them has a drink voucher, which you can redeem with Mr. Henry Pake. Just tell him T-Man sent you, and your lawn is looking fresh. All right. Joe. Joe.
You can find me everywhere and anywhere and here
Anytime.
on Thursdays. That's it.
If you have Google, you know where to find T-Man 978 and his many. How many more MP44 videos are there in the pipe?
I'm gonna have to do 2 more.
Yeah, he ain't returned.
One where I complain about the comments.
You're doing a comments video?
Oh, you should do a T-Man reads mean tweets.
I should, to be honest with you.
I want to see that. Like you could just play like a non-monetized version of Everybody Hurts, and we can get Dave over here. I'll record it. Everybody hurts.
Yeah, I've been an idiot.
Times
Super biased.
You don't like MP10 enough.
I don't like MP10 enough. And Mgo did it better because he showed us how to the right way to bend the knees.
I want you bend the knees. But what are they? Daenerys Targaryen?
Even though I mentioned it in the video, I'm like, y'all didn't even watch this shit. Y'all just straight saw my title and commented.
When you get a comment and then you're just like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that somewhere in this 50-minute long video.
Yes.
You need to hire Eyes Covered as an assistant so he can be like, look, motherfucker, there's the timestamp where T-Man said.
Exactly.
Like, we gotta find out what Eyes Covered. He's not in the chat tonight. We need to find out what his rate is, and just like, we'll get him on there.
His thing, he doesn't like watching. He likes watching everything on YouTube at 2 times speed. So he doesn't even like watching the live stuff.
So you probably sound like, hey everybody, it's T-Man 978. With a chill review.
No, actually, in some of my videos, when you speed it up, I just sound regular speed.
Hello, everybody. T-Man 978 coming to you with a chill review. Actually, it'd be fucked up if I like sped you up and you sounded like Cleveland.
Somehow, I don't. On my phone, when I speed it up, it'll sound like a chipmunk. But on YouTube, they still have the bass in there somehow. But it's just really fast, like this. And then don't put on captions. They never know what I'm talking about.
Well, what was it earlier? Before I wrap this up, what was it earlier? There was something. I put it in like in the one chat we have with Nate, and it was like, so for those of you that don't know, T-Man does not like using his thumbs. He's got 2 bum thumbs, and so he doesn't like to text shit. So sometimes we'll get like these messages that like they don't make any fucking sense. They're just like they're like whatever, and then he blames it on like he's like
voice to text.
Yeah, voice to text is the problem. Like voice to text is systematically racist. That's it does get my ass. Shit, where was it? It was fucking funny.
You said I should do a video saying Siege Optimus is better than MP44. They based they based MP44 off of Siege Optimus.
They kind of did, in all honesty.
Sometimes your texts though are like so all over the place.
They are.
I think when I read them in my head, I read them as if it was
Here it is.
what's that guy's name?
Little Caesars close at 8 on Sundays.
That is something they would really type in real life. That is crazy.
Because like something like it was funny though. It's like because like the question about G1 and toy accuracy, I was like, I know exactly what he's saying. It's like I can interpret this.
Yeah.
I couldn't
So
interpret.
that's how you knew it was me
I was
typing
like, dude, what is this? Alex Jones rambling on? Like, I can't understand what he's saying here.
it.
All right, before I wrap that up, everybody has a homework assignment. I'm not a fan of Alex Jones by any means, but that dude is so insane. He actually made the Star Wars prequels make sense. He does this video where he breaks down everything that happened in the prequels.
And kids at home, don't look up Alex Jones.
Well, fortunately, he's off
Not a
YouTube, so
kid's
he doesn't get a cent from it. Fuck him.
No, I mean that's also a porn star name.
Oh, I didn't know that, but now I know.
You ought to also YouTube search like the dude that takes like the Alex Jones and then he cuts up interviews from Joe Rogan podcast. So he's interviewing different people like Elon Musk.
Oh yeah,
that one was pretty good. The Musk.
I seen one where he was interviewing himself.
Yeah, he interviews himself.
All right,
you got to do some DMT before you do that, though.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, next time you guys come over, we're all gonna do DMT.
Click the button.
All right. If you haven't already, Kielbasa slam that like button. Don't do drugs outside the comfort of your own home. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to see that spoiler unboxing and comparison, be sure to tune into the Figure Action channel on Friday. I'll be going live with that. Anyway, it's been great. It's been great having y'all, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye. Good night. Hurry up and close.